Okay, welcome back. It is finally time to do 10-Yard Fight, widely regarded as one of the worst black box games and probably the worst of the sports series black box games. So we're going to go ahead and start on professional team. Why do you want me to suffer? I know it's a bad game. You know it's a bad game, but you're going to get here sooner or later when we knew this when we started the black box series. And we still haven't even done Urban Champion. That one is We're gonna have to get to that eventually. I'll probably be ordering a copy of that in the next week or so. We put it on the third level of difficulty, professional. And it's certainly a football video game. And you might be wondering why they didn't title it football, why they titled it 10-Yard Fight. You know, all the other sports titles, baseball, tennis, golf, volleyball, um, appropriately titled, but I suppose they were worried that people would confuse if they titled it football, they were afraid people might confuse it with soccer, so they just went ahead and titled it 10-Yard Fight. But it is, I do know that it is in fact based off of an arcade game made by Irem, I believe. All right, so we got our touchdown. Now let's play some defense. And admittedly, the action is not great for a football video game. You know, normally I always think of, I think with just about every black box game I've played, I've said something to the effect of, boy, it would have been, this is something that really should have been on the NES Mini, the classic Mini. Can't say that about 10-Yard Fight. They went with Tecmo Bowl instead, which was the right move. Tecmo Bowl, a much better game than 10-Yard Fight. But they did try. It's not the worst. Well, maybe it is the worst, but it's definitely a football video game. So I got to give it that much at least. It does play. It is controllable. It's just very plodding, and the action is very monotonous. It is admittedly not as good as Tecmo Bowl. And I'm not even a big fan of Tecmo Bowl. Anyone that had this game as part of their original NES library, did you recall this game fondly? I mean, it's not unplayably bad. I think of games that are unplayably bad. I think of like Back to the Future Part 2 and 3. Um, Smash TV port, I think probably also not great. Yeah, there's a few. But this is definitely a game where ultimately it is disappointing. I think for a football video game, an American football video game, they needed something with something a little faster, a little more action. First and goal from the 1. I love how the football looks like a bullet. Admittedly, this game, I ordered it a week ago. It just came in today, and I only started playing it maybe 25, 30 minutes ago. Got in one practice game, and I'm not saying I'm some like video game virtuoso, far from it, but this game did not take long to learn and master. It's different from, baseball obviously only has that one difficulty. Golf is a challenge. It's tough. But then I think of tennis, which has, I think, 4 or 5 difficulties. And it's not easy. Like, by the time you get to difficulty level 3, it's a really tough... Oh, goodness, I missed the tackle. By the time you get to difficulty level 3, I really struggle. Oh, whoops. I guess I've played so many pro football video games that I take for granted that in a game as primitive as 10-yard fight, basically, if there's a guy in the line of sight of your pass, it's an automatic interception. It's not like, Tecmo Bowl or any of the other more advanced pro football video games where there's a number of other factors that affect whether or not a pass is going to be intercepted. Yep, I knew that was going to happen. It doesn't matter. There's not enough time for them to score anyway. They've got one play. I guess if there was one complaint about this game, just the one, other than it being slow with no real way to like control the plays or anything like that, it would be that the way passes are intercepted is not good, to put it politely, because, you know, if the ball's in the line of sight, it's an automatic interception. And it works in your favor, but it certainly works against your favor. So, maybe I've been a little too hard on this game. It's simple. It's not great. There's the interception working in my favor. But it is a playable football video game. Ooh, let's get some downfield blocks. And basically that pass to the backfield is your go-to. Much more valuable having that open space. Maybe it's a little bit tougher on the... Ugh. Gave it right back. But maybe it's a bit more difficult to make plays out of the backfield on the harder difficulties. And boy, is it painful waiting for the man in motion to get set. Oh, they punted. Well, I love how the punt is just a arm throw. And actually completed a downfield pass without it being intercepted. Holy cow. All right, so we're up 21-0, despite me throwing like 2 or 3 interceptions. So, I mean, what do you want me to say? You know, this is a game where what you see is what you get. You know, I'm playing on professional. And on professional, I'm not really struggling. Maybe I should just go straight to Super Bowl. Uh, Maybe I will play it on Super Bowl on this channel. Today's not that day, though. I'm afraid. Today we're just going to be doing professional. So I guess one thing I will talk about, I usually try to find something to discuss while I make these videos. Anyone that hasn't seen the show play, if you're a fan of American football, you have to see the show Playmakers. It came on ESPN back in, I want to say, 2003. Ran for only one season. ESPN bought the rights so they could show it for one season. It's like a dramatic series about a fictitious NFL football team and the players on it. And it's basically like If Any Given Sunday, the film by Oliver Stone, had been made into a TV show. This is what it would have been, and it was awesome. And that's why ESPN had to kill it. They bought it so that they could they bought it and under the guarantee they would air one season just so they could kill it, because they knew that the NFL was complaining that it was giving them bad publicity. The only real big name actor I can think of that was in it was Omar Gooding Jr. I'll pin a link in the description because the entire show is actually on on YouTube. Someone put the whole season up on there. Just a fantastic show. Looks like they were going for an all-out blitz. Look how slow I go, even when I have a clean breakaway. I couldn't get that last touchdown. Oh well. So 21-0 against the team on professional. Your R on the way to the Super Bowl. All right, so that's 10-yard fight. Not much else to say. Good for 20 minutes, and that's about it. Might be a while before we see it again on this channel. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll play another game again soon.